Welcome to the You're Not Invisible After 50 podcast. I'm Kiran Kumar, founder and host of You're Not Invisible After 50. Despite the title, you don't have to be over 50 to listen to this podcast. No matter whether you're 25, 45, or 65, we can all learn lessons from each other to help us build a better, more fulfilled life. Come listen to the inspiring stories of all the phenomenal women over 50 who are kicking ass and making an impact. They are not invisible. I'm not invisible, and neither are you. So no matter what society says, life doesn't end at 50. In fact, it's just beginning. Welcome to the You Are Not Invisible After 50 podcast. I'm Kiran and the host of this podcast. We're all about showcasing phenomenal women over 50 who are kicking ass and making an impact. You'll get to hear all their inspiring stories why you don't have to be invisible after 50. So sit back and enjoy the wonderful life story from this week's guest. My guest today is Eva Wikner. Hi, Eva.
Hi, Kiran, and thank you for having me here. It's so exciting.
I'm so excited to have you here, as I am with all my guests. So thank you for choosing to come onto the You're Not Invisible After 50 podcast. I'm really excited about doing this with you. So I'm going to get you now to introduce yourself to our listeners in one line or more before we move on to the body of this podcast.
Okay, one line. I'm the Swedish woman who is 71 years, who started modeling and being an influencer when I was 69.
I'm so impressed with that. And I'm sure in the body of this podcast, we're going to be talking all about that. So well done, you. And we can all aspire to something and everything, can't we, really, even regardless of age. So let's move on to the body of the podcast. So in this podcast, we'll cover your life story, the past, the present, and then the future. So let's look at the past, wherever you want to start.
I start the easiest way. As I said, I'm from Sweden. I come from a small village in the north of Sweden called Rörström. It's a small village with about 100 households. And my father was a teacher in that village. And my mother was taking care of our children, us children. I have 3 younger brothers. And when I grew up there, my parents they were very interested in art. So a lot of artists came to our home and stayed there for weeks sometimes and painted, and they used the classrooms when it was holidays for the pupils. And that has made an important impression on me that I carry with me all the time. And also my mother was very interested in clothes. Her interest for fashion and clothes has also been something that has followed me all my life. So that was very important.
It's quite interesting how you're raised and the impressions that your parents leave on you and what you carry forward. Because my mother was in the fashion trade. I've always been interested in fashion. I've always been interested in clothes. I bought too many clothes in the past until COVID. But it's interesting, isn't it, Eva, when, something like what you've just said about your mother being very interested in fashion, how that's carried on in your own life and you looking glorious today. I mean, that's just how you present yourself to the world because you're so kind of dedicated and proud of what you're showing off in terms of what she gave to you, really.
Yes, I am. My mother was a very strong woman. She also came from small circumstances, and but in a way, it was so strong within her. So I think she gave that to me, and she gave her dreams to me, and they became my dreams. I remember, and she was always very open for my way of dressing, and she helped me to make very special clothes during my teens, and she was very open to my choices, and that was important.
I think it is very important when when parents don't stifle their kids in terms
Yeah.
of expressing themselves, because
Yeah.
if you are stifled, then you're going to resent it. But if you're allowed to do reasonably what you're allowed, a lot of things, and grow, then that's really a good thing, because then you can express yourself and don't feel antagonistic against your parents, etc. So good for her, I would say. Good for
Yes.
her.
But this also had there's another side of this, because I was not invisible, if you put it that way. And that can be also tough in a small village where I grew up, because everybody was seeing you, and that is both for good and for bad. So, and that's how it has been all my life. I have not been, sometimes I wanted to change it to be somebody that is not so visible, if you understand what I'm saying. But it's not possible for me to choose that way. And I think it's so strong within me. So I am as I am.
And I think there's pros and cons to everything. I mean, the whole thing about you're not invisible after 50. I have been invisible all my life, whereas now I'm being visible, and more so as I get older, because I think you get to a stage in your life where you think, I will just do whatever I want, right? I don't care what the world thinks anymore. And I think there's pros and cons in everything, but yes, you shouldn't stifle what's part of your natural DNA, and it's inbred, because then you're stifling a very natural part of who you are, and that can't be conducive either. So be who you want, and you have been. So that's congratulations to you on that. And I just love the colors that you wear, and I love your Instagram. We'll talk about that in a while or two. But let's move on into your career and how you grew up and all of that part of your life, if you're willing to share.
Yes, of course. Well, I I wanted to be an artist when I grew up, but that was so difficult, since this small village, it was so far away to go to Stockholm, to go to an art school, and also since my parents had seen the difficulties for artists to earn money, so they did not support me in that way. So, but anyway, I moved to, when I was 15 years, I moved to another village, a bigger village, where it was like a high school. And I then stayed in a home for pupils. And I think that was very, very nice. And it was, I didn't suffer from leaving my parents. I felt freedom, and that I could do more, that what I wanted. And during these years, I also met my husband. So we are still married. We married in 1975. So it has been a strong relationship. Of course, with ups and downs in such a long relationship, but still, he's the love of my life, I can say, even today. Why it has been possible to go on is that I've let him follow his dreams and do what he has wanted, as well as he has done the same with me. He's supporting me today, for example, in modeling, and I'm so grateful for that. I'm not sure every man should do that, or even, I mean, my way of Instagram and being there is supporting that, and that means a lot to me. Anyway, we moved on from there to Uppsala, that is a university city, not far away from Stockholm, and I studied language. I studied English, believe it or
Very
not.
well.
So I read a lot of literature in English and also French, and I have forgotten all French.
But you remember the English, obviously.
Well,
you have to.
I have to. Anyway, from there we moved to Dalarna, where I am now. I live in Dalarna, that is a beautiful county in Swedish, and I also live in Stockholm. If you think of Sweden, I'm sure some of you have seen the Dalarna horses. It's the often a symbol for Sweden, a wooden horse that is painted in orange color with pattern on. And that comes from Dalarna and many other Swedish symbols too. And it's a beautiful county, and I really love to live here. And my first job was at, believe it or not, it's so strange, but I got a job at the Swedish steelworks that is in the town where I live now, on the advertising department. So that was my first step to work with advertising. At that point, I had a short education in marketing, and that was what I based everything on. And that has been my start within advertising, as well as art. I have always described art as the area where I can get inspiration and creativity and ideas, if you so will. So that was what I brought with me into advertising. And after a while, I started to work at an advertising agency not far away from here. And after some years, I was the owner and the manager of this advertising agency, and I had 12 people employed. And I was there for 25 years. That's a long, long time. But I never felt that it was long, because my thought at that time was that I can work with any brand that I find interesting. It's always up to me. If I'm smart, if I can come with the best ideas, it's possible. So I thought that was always very interesting, to work with the creativity and also to work with all these different companies, with branding, with people, to be the leader of other people and to develop. So it was a very important period in my life. I just want to tell you also that during these years, me and my husband started an art gallery that we were running for 17 years. And we also had 2 children during these years. So it was very intense.
So once you finished that kind of part of your life, where did you go next? What happened next?
When I was turning 60, I decided that it was time to do something else and to sell the company. And that was quite a big job, to prepare the company for selling and also to find a buyer. And it took me 5 years. I didn't just want to leave it to somebody, because I had put in so much effort in this. So I really wanted to sell it, to get some money, to do something else. And when you are 60, it's not easy to get a new job. So I started a new company, and there I worked as a business coach and also a branding strategist, because brands has always been a very big interest for me. If you start to think of branding, you will realize that almost everything is about branding. Yourself, for example, you are a brand. I worked mostly with women because I found women so clever and also strong, and they are so fighting a lot. There's a fighting spirit in women that I really appreciate. And after some years, after 4 years, I started a female network called Business Dalarna, together with 2 other women that I like very much. They are my colleagues. And we started this Business Dalarna for professional women who often are quite alone and have they do not have so many opportunities to talk about ideas and how they want to develop with other women without feeling safe, like a safe area to talk about things like that. And we also wanted to support, to have more women on leading positions in companies and also in boards. And that has been quite a big job too. And we are still working with that, with this network. And we are showing a lot of role models for other women to get inspiration to develop themselves. And that has been very nice too. And
it's also very valuable because, being a woman in business myself, it is often you feel like you've been isolated or you're isolated. And especially as you decide to go into business at a much later time in your life. I've always been interested in business because my parents were in business and I always had this kind of entrepreneurial spirit. But, we all go down this pathway, which is much safer in terms of doing what you are supposed to do, et cetera, and have that kind of normal career until you get to a time in your life and you go, I've had enough of that. I'm going to do something different. But being on your own is difficult when you have the support of other women who are understanding and also share the same feelings and experiences. Then that's much more encouraging because then it's a collective then. And then you have the energy to go on and you don't feel like you're alone in this, in the field. So I think what you're doing, Eva, is truly, truly valuable because women do have a fighting spirit. They do want people who are going to support them in achieving their dreams and goals, regardless of how old they are.
That's true. I have been a mentor for many women during the years, and that has also, I think it has been important, both for me and them. Anyway, then we had Corona came, and it was difficult to meet people, and life became very boring. And about a year before, a modeling scout had contacted me and asked me if I was interested to be a model in an international campaign. And I was so surprised. I thought it was a joke.
But what a compliment, right?
Yes. Anyway, I asked my son in Stockholm, who is working within fashion and advertising, and he knew of this woman, the model scout. So then I could believe that it was not a joke. And but I didn't get that job. But this put like an idea in my head, and I started to think about all the clothes that I have saved during the years. I mean, that's a lot. And I said to myself, why if I start to try them on, perhaps I cannot wear them. And I started to do that. And this was 2020, 3 years ago. And I started to take photos, selfies. And I put out these photos on Facebook and on Instagram. And I always had like a story with the outfit. For example, I have a pink suit that my mother made for me 1964. You know, that's a long
Wow.
time ago. And I had my
Yeah.
father's hat. And I was so happy that I could get them on. But, wool is quite elastic. So it was possible. And that became very popular, and people really liked what I was doing. But on my Instagram account, I could also feel that it became a lot of photos of me. I don't know if you have that, if you recognize what I'm talking about. We have something in Sweden we call jantelagen. If I explain it, it is you shouldn't think that you are something. You are too much. Do you have that?
Like kind of like an ego kind of thing, you're saying? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
You become
Yeah.
too much.
Yeah.
So anyway, one of my colleagues in business that I have been talking about, she encouraged me to start another Instagram account, and that is where I am now. Eva _Wikner. And I started that June 15, 2021, 2.5 years ago, not, but almost. And there I called myself influencer from the start. And also during spring, I had joined a model agency, ladies team in Stockholm. So I had a model agency behind me, so that was good. But on Instagram, I called myself influencer and model. And that, of course, many people were surprised and thought, what is she doing? But at the same time, it was a lot of interest for this. So a lot of media contacted me and made interviews. And I also put out a post on LinkedIn. Is it possible to call yourself influencer and model when you're 69? And I got so many views there, and also comments and likes. So I got a lot of followers there on a short period. So that was very interesting.
I think you can be an influencer at any age, and you can be it in any guise, right? So you're an influencer, I'm an influencer in a different way. And, we're all influencers. And I don't think age has anything to do with it. I think it's really encouraging that, you see so many women now who are over 50, who are showing up on Instagram, who are saying, we are who we are. And we're very proud of it. Our grays, our lines, our this, our that, our shapes, etc. And owning it and showing the world that we're here and we're still powerful and we're still expressive. You don't just wither away at 50. You grow from that. I've grown so much in my business, and I think it's really encouraging seeing women like yourself, Eva, who are out there doing this really important work. Women need to see other women in a different field and just think, okay, that career's finished. Oh, let me try something else. Let me do something else. Let me show myself to the world. Let's see what opportunities are opened for me. And I think it just opens the door. I mean, you see so many women, I've seen so many women on Instagram who are older, got brand deals, are modeling, they're influencers in a big way. I mean, kudos to them, congratulations to them. I think it's wonderful that they're not shying, they're moving forward. And I think it's people like yourself need to be there. I may be one of those in the future. I may go, and I actually am thinking of that. But, it's really, really good to see women moving forward and showing up, and people like yourself need to be there. So thank you for that.
Thank you. Well, since I had been working with advertising, I had seen that the models were always young, at least here in Sweden. But a lot has happened during just the last 2 years. And now it has become much more attractive to work with older models. So it has been a change. And also my goal that I write about on my Instagram is that I want to inspire mature women to choose a personal style, and also to take their space. Because just as your name of this pod, so many women are saying to me that I feel so gray and I feel so invisible. So you are inspiring me to be more seen. So, and I can also see that in Europe, for example, and in US, there are many women that are 70, 80, and even 90 years who work as models. But in Sweden, it has not been so common. Today, it's much more women, but it's perfect.
Oh, it is perfect, isn't it? Okay, thank you for that. So we're now going to go to a commercial break, and when we're back, we'll talk about about the triggers at 50, and of course the bonus part of this podcast. Did you know that You Are Not Invisible After 50 is not just about our highly acclaimed global podcast? Our mission is to empower all women, regardless of colour, creed, class, and culture, across all countries and continents. So we have 2 empowering courses for you: a free masterclass, Building a Life You Love, creating your own path after 50. This transformative masterclass is one that you've been waiting for. Are you ready to seize life after 50 like never before? Well, say goodbye to feeling stuck and say hello to the life you love. Don't let age define your limits. Let it ignite your possibilities. This transformative masterclass is your ticket to a vibrant and fulfilling future. But that's not all. Coming in November, we have our innovative introductory business course, Grey to Gold. In today's dynamic business world, age should never be a barrier to success. Say goodbye to age-related stereotypes and hello to unstoppable success. Our half-a-day course will equip you with the skills and confidence you need to conquer the business world. Discover the true value of your experience, reinvent yourself, stay competitive, and master the art of self-presentation. It's time to turn your grey into gold. Don't wait, your future is brighter than ever before. Visit our website and check out our courses geared to propel you to the next level. So embrace your age, utilize your wisdom and experience, and own your success. Spots are limited. Also, we have other wonderful products launching in the new year, so keep a watch on our social media posts and website for more information. www.youarenotinvisibleafter50.com. Let's move on and talk about was there a trigger around 50? Was it around the 60 mark, as you said earlier?
No, I haven't felt that way. I think it's so, my followers, they are from very young, but many of them are from 30 years and up. And sometimes I can read but a young woman, she's going to turn 30 and she's so sad about that. She's feeling so old. And I'm thinking, but you are so young. You have your whole life ahead as long as you will be healthy and not get an illness. And so it's so much ahead. No, I haven't really thought like that. I don't feel myself that my age has been an obstacle for me to do things, but I can feel it from my surroundings or people around me in some circumstances.
Okay, that's great. I mean, I think like for me, I think I always was conscious because I was still in a corporate job around the 50 mark and I felt it. And hence I decided to do something completely different. And I think there are women who are around 50 when they go, oh, hang on, I want to change my life. But it's interesting what you've said about, women of 30, because I have a wide range of listeners to this podcast and it surprises me, somebody who's in their 20s, which is great, to somebody who's post, 70, for instance, and you've got that widespread. And that's the reason, why we do the bonus part of this podcast, is because we want to give tips to people who are younger than us because of what they're coming up with and what advice we can give them. But it's interesting that women of 30 are feeling like old, because 30, you're kind of at your height. But even I'm going to be 60, right? Next year. I don't even feel 60. I have to remind myself that I'm going to be this number, but in myself, I have no feelings of that. I see myself and I'm going, okay, I'm 60, right? But it's all about the mindset, isn't it, really? Yeah. Sometimes you do feel older, but sometimes you just feel you're just as young as you want to be. People say to me, you have a young spirit. And I just think that's great because, if you have that kind of enthusiasm and you can share that with somebody else, then you're doing them a world of good, because you can think, well, being 60 is not bad, so being 30 is just wonderful.
Yes. Yeah.
So what about the future? What thoughts have you got about what you're going to be doing next? Have you got any kind of plans in the pipeline?
I'm always trying to get modeling jobs, and I'm trying to find jobs that I care for the brand. I've had a collaboration with the secondhand brand here in Sweden called Myrorna, and that has been so fun. I'm so proud of it. You can see the photos on my Instagram, and also a famous Swedish silversmith called Eva Attling. I'm very proud of that too. And also I'm working with Eucerin Skin. I really appreciate these jobs, and I'm trying to get more of that. Anyway, what I'm doing ahead, I have, together with a friend who is also very much into secondhand, we have started something called Vintage Safari, and invited women who are interested in secondhand, but perhaps they have not been to a secondhand shop and they don't know how to. They are unused to go into these kind of shops, they don't know that you can find secondhand shops with quite modern clothes, and you can find some with very old style, and different styles of different shops. So we are arranging a vintage safari in November. That's our first, but we hope it will be more further on. And what more ahead? I just said yesterday. I think it's important to work with your dreams, and when you put out your dreams in words, then you start something. And I said in a comment yesterday to another woman that my dream for 2024 is to go to the L Gala. It's a gala for fashion people in Stockholm. And I mean, who are invited there? It's only celebrities. And but I can try. I will start this week, perhaps, my personal campaign to get an invitation to that gala next spring. What do you say about that?
I think it's fabulous. I think we all should have goals and we should all have dreams. And you're right about manifestation. It's good for you, Eva, to say that on here, because people who are listening in will see that regardless of your age, you can still have those dreams, you can still have those goals, and you still have those wants and desires. Carry on. Just carry on.
That's true. I mean, even if I'm 71, my head is as it has been all my life. Of course, I have more experiences and perhaps more knowledge about certain things. I can make other decisions, but still, I'm very much the same as I was as a young girl. That's how it is.
I love that. I think age is just a number, right? It's just a number, and it's how you feel and how you come across and what you bring to the world. That's the important thing. And age shouldn't be a factor. So let's look at the bonuses. So from all your wealth of experience and your knowledge, etc., what are the 5 tips that you'd give to anybody who's under 50?
Under 50. Let's see, I wrote it down here. I think it's very important to trust yourself and to trust your feeling in your stomach. It's so important because it will help you. Your intuition, you can also call it that. Trust it because you know within yourself what is good for you. So that's my first advice. And be yourself. That is easier when you get older, I think, because I have been thinking so much during my years. Who am I? Today I know that more, but I can still be surprised by myself.
Yeah, absolutely.
My second advice is be kind. Be kind to other people. I think that is so important, that we are kind to each other, that we are open-minded to each other. So much. My experience is that over the years, you will meet the same people over and over again. Perhaps you don't think it at the moment when you are angry at somebody, but you will find or see that person again, perhaps in other circumstances than you are doing at the moment. So be kind, be open, and that I think that is very important to spread kindness. And also remember to listen. That is also very, very important. It will help you if you listen. If you are just interested to talk about yourself all the time, it will be difficult for you. But if you listen to other people, you will get so much from them. And also, you will have another relationship with them. It's a lot of values in that, to listen to other people. So that was my third advice. Follow your dreams, I've said. But that's perhaps a little as the first advice, trust yourself. But follow your dreams. I mean, I wanted to be an artist when I was a young woman. I did not become an artist that way, but in a way, I consider myself as an artist today. I think I'm an artist. I'm an artist in dressing. I'm an artist in making beautiful surroundings in my home, arranging flowers. That's also being an artist. So I can see like a red thread through my life from being a young girl wanting to be an artist, starting to work with advertising is a way of also working with creativity. And now I'm an influencer and model. That is also a way of being an artist. So a dream, and you can have that red thread. Perhaps it's not exactly what you're dreaming about, but it will be very close to it. So follow your dreams.
I think it's really interesting, Eva. You've said art is whatever you want it to be, right? And it comes in different guises. And you've used that in your life. You've applied it. And you may not have completely, put a pen to, paintbrush to canvas, but you have created your artistic or use your artistic flair in various parts of your life. And that gives you the feedback that you really wanted, the kind of food to your soul, right?
Yes.
And it's provided that. So I just think that's so fascinating because you have applied it in a different way throughout your life. And congratulations for doing that. It's just wonderful.
Yeah, I'm happy for that, really. And that was 4 advices, wasn't it?
One more.
One more. And this is I have more, but this is my last for now. Take your space. I think that is important. Nobody will ask you. So don't be shy. Step forward and be you and show you. It will also give you so much back. You don't have to be you don't have to be shy. Show yourself and be you. That is so important, and that will be so good for you.
Oh, I love that. I love that. So the 3 tips to anyone who's over 50.
Oh, that's easier perhaps. Choose friends in all ages. I have young friends. One of my Instagram friends, she's 40 years younger than me. She's 31. And it's so nice. We can support each other in different ways. She has another knowledge than I have, and I have more experience and can support her that way. So that is very, very nice. But I think it's something you really have to think of, because otherwise it's so easy. You go on with your network and it's similar people who are similar to yourself, the same age, the same interests, but try to work more, be aware of who you choose as a friend and who you are seeing.
Love that.
So that is one advice. And also one very important advice is take care of your curiosity. It will give you so much if you are curious and open to do new things. And for me, for example, to sit here and talk in English podcast, it's a challenge for me to do that, but I do it anyway because I'm curious.
And it's done so well, can I say?
Thank you, Kira. And my third advice is continue to dream about future, about what you want to do. And you don't stop dreaming because you are 70 or 80 or 90. Let dreams be part of your life, your life. Dreams are important, and also you can also take small steps to make your dreams come true, and it will give you a lot of energy and happiness to have these thoughts.
Oh my God, Eva, I can't follow that by anything. I think it's just beautifully said. So I'm going to just thank you for such an awesome podcast recording and interview. So thank you very much for being on here. It's been a delight, can I say?
Thank you, Kira. And thank you for understanding what I'm saying.
It's been easy. Thank you for listening to the You're Not Invisible After 50 podcast. If you want to hear more from some amazing women who are over 50, who are kicking ass and making impact, then don't forget to follow us right here on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. Remember to subscribe, rate, comment, and share with other women through your social media. Let's spread the word across the world that you don't have to be invisible after 50. Check out our other services on www.you'renotinvisibleafter50.com and follow us on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, TikTok, and YouTube. And always remember that life doesn't end at 50. In fact, it's just beginning. But wait, we have even more to offer. Join us and tune in to our other podcast, Shamelessly Untamed, a transformative series that encourages you to embrace your true self and celebrate your uniqueness. Make sure to subscribe to Shamelessly Untamed podcast on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. Don't forget to rate, comment, and share with anyone who can benefit from its content. Explore our additional services at www.roaringahead.com and be sure to follow us on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, TikTok, and YouTube. We look forward to you connecting with us. Thank you.